was Bauman holding in there, and then Betty comes popping out. I told him, you can't keep him, then Betty comes popping out. So you can't keep him in there.
He's more than happy to whatever.
All right, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good morning, everybody. Today is April 4th. Welcome to the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. I'm Aaron Mays, representing District 3. I serve as the chair this year. On my left is Commissioner Bill Rippon, representing District 1, and on my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, representing District 2. First item, please.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
We have 5 items on the consent agenda today. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business, A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, under Building and Maintenance, Bartlett and West, Inc., totaling $10,000 is for design services for Deer Creek Trail. Under Sewer District, Keith Barnett, totaling $18,350 is for right-of-way easement for Sherwood Sanitary Sewer Pump Station 54 replacement. As of April 1st, 2022, our total vouchers is $1,476,505.78. There's no questions or comments. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval of the correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Register of Deeds number 1, consider approval of request for payment of various items from the Land Records Fund totaling $114,068.
Good morning, Commissioners. Becky Neosi, Register of Deeds. As you know, the Register of Deeds has a technology fund, and if there's excess funds available, they can be used in other county offices for equipment or technological services related to the land or property records filed or maintained by the county. So these will mostly be for 2023 budget year, except for a few that are needed sooner. I want to thank the committee for contributing to this and always being available, so I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
No.
And also, Steve Bauman from the Appraiser's Office is here if you had any questions for him.
Any questions for the appraiser? All right. Then I would move for approval.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Becky. Next item, please.
Item C, Public Works number 1, consider approval of request to award a bid to Bettis Asphalt and Construction, Inc. for up to 6,000 tons of BM-2A hot mixed asphalt for purchase in 2022 at a total or a unit cost of $57.95 per ton, subject to asphalt oil price adjustment and a potential maximum expenditure of $347,700. Funding will depend on whether the material is where the material is being used.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Neos, Director of Public Works. Thank you to Audit Finance. They sent out an RFQ for us to request for quotations on 6,000 tons of asphalt that we use to patch the road, patch potholes, do various overlays, et cetera, et cetera. Over the past 5 years, we've had 2 bidders. And in 2017, Hams was awarded the contract for our asphalt. Beginning in 2018, Bettis has won that contract every time. This year, Bettis was our only bidder, and they won the contract, obviously, because they were the only bidder. But the cost was substantially more than last year's bid. One thing I want to make clear is I don't believe the cost increase was due to the fact that Bettis was the only bidder. The price of asphalt has gone up tremendously. In February, for example, when we released the RFQ, or I had worked with Audit Finance on the RFQ, the oil price index for asphalt, road oil, was $550 per ton. Beginning the first of, would be Friday, last Friday, it's at $675 a ton. The price of asphalt is going up. It's gone up significantly since we bid asphalt last year. So with that, I received one bid at $62.05 a ton. I met with Bettis, and working with Bettis, we were able to get that down to $57.95 a ton. A marginal decrease, but nevertheless a savings. I checked some other vendors that don't serve this area, that serve the Salina, Manhattan area, and I feel like our price is very competitive for the present time, and I'm requesting approval of that bid. Questions?
Kurt, will the increased price of asphalt affect how many projects we do this year?
It could, yes. It depends on how much it goes up. I have no definitive answers at this time because I don't know what this asphalt oil price index will do. I know, at least if I'm a betting man, I know it's going to continue to go up, but I don't know how much. So yes, it could have an impact on how much maintenance-related work that we do this year that involves asphalt.
And then anecdotally, it's my understanding that concrete prices have gone up quite a bit too.
It looks like about everything is going up. It seems to me that asphalt is one of the leaders. As you know, I've talked before about pre-stressed beams. They went up significantly between a project we had last year and a project we let this year. So there's a number of construction items going up at a rate faster than our inflation rate, general inflation rate.
Is it getting to the point where a new construction is concrete going to be competitive with asphalt?
Could be. We've got a project coming up, a letting on Croco Road between the two bridges, one over I-70 and one over the Turnpike, that has a concrete and asphalt option. And so we'll see how those bids turn out.
Any other questions?
I would move for approval.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kurt. Next item, please.
Item D, Health Department, number 1, acknowledge binding of professional liability insurance with the Kansas Medical Municipal Insurance Company, contract C100-2022 for the Shawnee County Health Department employees.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director with the Health Department. As the clerk read, this is insurance that we are required to cover or to carry for our insurance companies that we bill for both our clinical and our home visitation services. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for Teresa?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item D2, consider authorization and execution of contract C101-2022 with Site Box Storage to rent an 8x20 unit for the purpose of COVID-19 testing at a cost of $260 per month to be paid by COVID-19 grant funds.
All right, good morning, Commissioners. Derek Furlog, Infectious Disease Manager for the Shawnee County Health Department. First item in front of you today from me is for an actual storage unit, a Site Box unit. And so this is identical, it is identical to what KDHE's been operating their COVID-19 testing out of at some of their free testing sites. You might remember Summit Hummer. That's probably the most notable one I think that people have drove by to see, but there's been others and others throughout the state as well. So this unit, it's mobile in the sense that we can have them place it where we need them to. It does allow us to store supplies and operate out of, so there's an office space to it, and then there's also a storage aspect to it as well. And I think I'll kind of go ahead and cover kind of the need for this on this item as well. So as you all are probably well aware, the state has ended their free testing, mass testing operations, not only here in Shawnee County, but as I understand it throughout the state as well. And then the federal funding options for testing reimbursement for private providers has also ended or is ending. I believe tomorrow would be the last day for that. So there would be no free testing options for COVID-19 in the county. So we feel it's important, kind of at the recommendation of the CDC and as KDHE has put it out there, moving into a new phase of COVID, of course, but still doing our job to provide accessible and free testing depending on the demand in the county. And so this first item is for that kind of that mobile box option to operate out of. And if there's any questions, I guess, relevant to the container, I can answer those. There is a monthly charge. There's a one-time charge for delivery and a one-time charge for pickup, $120 each, and then a monthly charge as well. And I'll answer any questions.
Any questions?
Sir?
How long do you anticipate renting this?
Yeah, I think, well, that's a great question. That's something we're sort of evaluating. We've watched the testing demand drop, I think, well, throughout the country really, but here in the county too. We do intend to offer rapid testing, and so we know results will be 15 minutes or less. So the demand on that could certainly be a little bit higher than we've seen for other tests that may take multiple days to result. But we can also look at this on a month-to-month basis, and so we'll evaluate what that demand looks like. Of course, it depends on case counts, which are low right now, very good, and sort of what people are in need of, and as other providers change their testing options too. But we know we'll be kind of a notable go-to, we think, for the community, just for the role that we've played throughout the pandemic, and again, being really the only free option throughout the county, we'll play that role.
Or the grant funds?
Correct.
Unending, or how?
Yeah, there's a couple of different grant options that we can use to cover this. We have some grant funds that roll through 2024 and some grant funds that roll through June. So both of those can really be used for testing. We can cover those. And I think we've done a good job, if I say so myself, of being responsible and trying to evaluate what the need for those are going to be moving forward. And we're in a spot where we can now utilize those as the state's kind of withdrawn their operations in the county.
How many cases are we seeing a week?
We're at about 40 or 50 a week currently, so that's great to see.
Derek, can this box, and then I know we've also got the next item too.
Yeah.
But is this something that we can use for things other than COVID as well? I mean, can we do our flu shot clinic through there and some of that other stuff?
Yeah, I think specific to the grant funds themselves, well, there are other grant funds that could cover for that, but we certainly could have some other options to utilize this for, absolutely.
Okay, great. Any other questions for Derek?
No.
All right, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner May, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item D3, consider authorization and execution of contract C102-2022, a month-to-month lease agreement with USD 501 to lease space at 2701 Southwest East Circle Drive to conduct drive-through COVID-19 testing at a cost of $500 per month to be paid by COVID-19 grant funds.
Derek Flerlog again, Infectious Disease Manager for the Health Department. This is for the actual site location of the site box. So we'll drop the site box. This location is right across the street from our main building, the J.P. Lewis building there off of McVicker. A couple things when we were evaluating locations. You need a location that offers a good flow of traffic. And so there is a pretty good turn there that will allow us to have traffic flow in and then turn and flow back out. So we'll drop the site box to allow that flow of traffic and have the proper direction of that traffic as well. We also needed a space that was well-known and then a space that also allowed proper, restroom and usage like that for our staff. So we felt like this was a good spot for that. There's a lot of space for the site box there. Again, the flow of traffic is important too. Being right off of a main strip there, right off of the interstate, well-known location. And then also just our relationship with USD 501, not only throughout the pandemic, but prior and what we'll be moving forward into the future. So they've been great to work with, be a $500 per month agreement with them. And it is a month-to-month agreement with a 10-day notice if we do need, if we, evaluate that demand and find that it's not there. But we don't anticipate any issues in working with them at all. So again, open for any questions.
Questions? Derek, is this the same price that the state of Kansas was paying?
I am not for sure on that, Commissioner, but I can sure get that info for you.
Okay, I'd be interested to find out.
Yeah, I can definitely ask.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Derek. Next item, please.
Item E, Court Administration. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-103-2022 with Jury Systems, Inc. for the upgrade of the current Jury Plus web generation jury management software and the additional purchase of a Jury Plus web solutions program at a cost of $28,310 to include software, mobile application, on-site training, and support and maintenance with funding from the 2022 Court Administration budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lee Welch, Court Administrator, 3rd Judicial District. As Cindy indicated, this is a request to purchase an upgrade to our existing jury management software. I did complete a sole source authorization form, which Betty Griner has approved. We've used the same jury software since 1997. There have been a few upgrades along the way, but this is an outward-facing upgrade, so this is more for the jurors themselves. It does have some internal components that'll benefit our jury coordinator. It will allow for customization of online questionnaires that are embedded in the program, and we can generate automatic responses to jurors who ask questions of the court in regard to their jury service. It also allows for automated text, email, and voicemail notifications to jurors in the event of schedule changes or reporting times. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
I'd move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item E2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-104-2022, an agreement with Rapid Financial Solutions to implement court funds, a program which will pay jurors via prepaid debit card instead of a paper check. The initial cost for the program is $2,000, $400 annual maintenance, and 55 cents per card for each individual paid, with funding from the 2022 Court Administration budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lee Welch, Court Administrator, 3rd Judicial District. This agreement with Rapid Financial actually came about because this is a component that's included in the jury system upgrade. It's included as an option. Once all the paperwork is completed for the jury program upgrade, it'll take about 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks to get that implemented. By setting up an agreement directly with Rapid Financial, we can get the debit card payment started in about 2 weeks. What this would do, Rapid Financial provides us with a trifold document that's sealed, and inside that document is a debit card. So when we scan our juror in to show that they've attended to get payment for that day, we'll also scan the blank debit card. We provide that to them, and then once our jury coordinator processes the jurors for payment through a process with the county clerk's office, not at finance, Rapid Financial would then load their payments on these debit cards. That trifold document that they receive provides them information with how to use their card, fees that are assessed after a period of 12 months if they don't use their card, how to transfer those funds to either their bank account or a PayPal account, or they can even request a paper check from the company. But it's become a single debit from the county instead of 400 individual debits each week.
Any
I'd be happy to
questions?
answer any questions. Oh. No, not at all.
Betty Griner, Director of Administrative Services. I just want to say that I am really excited about this program. This will eliminate a lot of paper checks for the county. Every time we issue a paper check, there is additional liability or risk involved for the county. So this is an exciting option for us in getting rid, eliminating paper checks and going to these cards. And just wanted to thank Lead Dawn for her research and getting, finding this program, and I wholeheartedly support it.
Questions?
Betty, are there other programs that we might be looking at or other departments?
There are. The same company also has a program for election board workers that I would like us to look at that. And they also have a system for release pay when inmates are released from the jail right now. That, if they came in with money, then they receive that in a check, in the form of a check when they leave. So this is something I'd also like to look at in the future from this same company.
Good. Anything that we can do that adds more speed and transparency and efficiency, those are good things.
Are these going to be visas or like Visa debits or how?
I honestly don't remember if they're Visa or MasterCard, but I can check on that and let you know.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 5, public comment.
I don't have anybody signed up. Is there anyone from the general public wishing to speak today? Seeing none, next item, please.
Item 6, administrative communications.
Okay. Any department heads that would like to speak?
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. I have a couple announcements. One of them is that we received word last week that Shawnee County became the fifth county to become an innovator county with the Stepping Up initiative. This is something that we've been working on as a team with the Health Department, Vallejo, for many years, and finally have been awarded that status. A lot of people have asked me, okay, Brian, what does that really mean? A lot of it means, number one, is that we're one of 5 counties that have recognized to meet and exceed the highest standards when it comes to addressing one of the biggest challenges that we've addressed in Shawnee County, and that's those who suffer with mental illness who get into become involved in the criminal justice system. Number one, it allows us to set a resolution. What we've done, we've set a very robust and thorough data processing system to find out how big the problem is and trying to find alternatives to incarceration, because once somebody with mental illness gets into that, it's much more expensive than keeping them on the outside. To give you an example, one of the things that we've discovered is that the average length of stay with somebody who has serious and persistently mental illness in the Shawnee County Jail stays almost over a year in the jail compared to the general population, which is 21 days. Now, if that doesn't strike you as odd, that should, because that's about a $400 a day to $500 a day and the liability that goes along with that. That's something that we've got to correct in Shawnee County. This allows us to set up reentry programs. Does this mean that anybody's going to come running from the jail saying, okay, we need to start a new program? The answer is no. We have a good program. It allows us to look at our programs and things like that. But this is an exciting achievement by Shawnee County, and so I'm being part of that board. I'm very excited to announce that. The other thing I wanted to say is last week that we just finalized our American Correctional Association Juvenile Detention Center survey with the ACA. That so far, based upon the survey, and this was a very tough survey group. This was a group here that the one thing you'll find out about survey groups is they're never consistent. What one group thinks is really good, next time that person comes in and says, okay, we want to look at this a little bit harder, and oh, we disagree with the last survey group, things like that. But out of the mandatory, we met 100%, which you do. You have to. And then out of the remainder of the essential or important standards, you have to meet, I believe, as close to 80%. And we have met 99.5% of those based on what this survey has indicated. Still have to go in front of the actual audit committee when they get the report. I do expect that. To be very well. They may say, hey, look, we want a few more documents to show this, that, and the other. But based off of this survey group, Again, Shawnee County would probably remain in in the top 1% of operating juvenile detention center in the United States, which is exciting. The staff do a good job over there, and they've earned and deserve this recognition. So we have a few more months for the official word, but I wanted to get that out. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian, real quick before you run off, this is all exciting stuff. I mean, it's always nice to get good news from the jail.
Yes.
But the Stepping Up initiative, could you just kind of list, I know it wasn't just a corrections thing, there's a lot of other
Oh, yeah.
folks involved. Could you kind of list off some of the people that
Oh,
are
yes,
party to that?
when you're dealing with the Kansas Department of Adult and Children, or DCF, you're talking to KDADS with the state of Kansas, Kansas Department of Health and Environment, you're talking Vallejo, you're talking the hospitals, you're talking health providers, you're talking service providers and mental health providers, Vallejo, and the list goes on. This is truly a team effort, and Bill Persinger is the chair of the Stepping Up, and we have regular meetings that go through there. And what we had to do is we had to had to go through a thorough initial survey to get this, and they thoroughly looked at our what we have in the jail. The jail is just one component. But this would mean those that come in, which is our volunteers, those from the state, Larned, from the Department of Corrections in Kansas. You're looking at a great deal of that, and this is a true team initiative.
Great, thank you. And thanks to all those partners as well.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good morning, Commissioners. Nelda Henning, Director of Facilities Management. I wanted to give you a brief update of the Administrative Services Building at 707 Southeast Quincy. The city has set up a small station right inside the door on the corner that will allow you to put your PPE on and tour the facility whenever you would like to. There'll be hard hats, safety vests, and glasses. I will remind everyone to please wear closed-toed shoes when you go in, and meet with Wes. He is the site superintendent, and he would be happy to show you around. And they're excited that you're taking an interest in wanting to go over and visit. Also, the part of the process of getting a building permit, the project has to go in front of the Landmarks Commission. That is scheduled for the 14th. Prior to that meeting, they have a committee called the Design Review Committee that takes on and looks at the project to kind of give you a heads up before you go in front of the Landmarks Commission. The project has gone through the Design Review Committee. Good news, as it came out of the committee, they have no issues with anything that has been done. They took into account our request to remove the 7Q sign on the east face. They are in recommendation of us doing that. And that will also go in front of the Landmarks Commission. We also asked the possibility of putting a sign on the building, and they were in agreement with that, and I have a picture. Basically, this would be the location that they would recommend. That was where the sign was originally. This is the double doors that are on the south side that we were going to be using as the public doors. We can start looking at the possibility of what a sign would be. I requested standoff individual letters, which is typically the most restrictive, and the committee felt that was acceptable. We will have to go for a sign permit if we choose to go that route. Other than that, they are progressing along, and they expect to take the Administrative Services Building in for a building permit next week. And then also the architects were over last week measuring the basement and first floor, and they will be over later today to start measuring second floor. So they are moving over to doing the courthouse portion. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
No?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Some days there's none of us, and today it's a race to the podium. So, good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director with the Health Department. I have a couple of announcements today. The first is that this week, April 4th through the 10th, is National Public Health Week. So this is a week to recognize and also generate momentum for the public health workforce. Typically, that's work that's happening behind the scenes. Over the past 2 years, of course, it really hasn't been behind the scenes, but in normal times it's behind the scenes. We often say if public health is working well, you oftentimes don't hear from us. So we're kicking off. There'll be lots of social media interaction this week, so we encourage people to follow along with that. We kicked it off internally by delivering, our leadership team delivered breakfast to our internal staff to say thank you for the work that they've done and continue to do. And we just encourage everyone in the community to look at how they might be able to make our community a better place to live, whether that's an individual basis or an organization you belong to or your business that you work at. My second announcement is that this Wednesday, April 6th at 12:15 is the long-awaited ribbon cutting ceremony for our family planning program. So it will be held at our 10th Street location, which is 2115 Southwest 10th Avenue. There'll be a few speakers there from the county and the state that will be giving their remarks about the program itself. We encourage everyone from the public to come. It'll be at the front of the building, so there'll be plenty of space for everyone to hear about this exciting program. I know all of you will also be in attendance, and we're excited to have you there. And it's just an exciting time for our community, and we're excited to officially cut the ribbon and open the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lee Welch, Court Administrator, 3rd Judicial District. I thought I'd just give you an update on the happenings in the judicial branch as of right now. On Friday, April 25th, or March 25th, we swore in our new judge, Jessica Heinen, and she began her duties on the following Monday. Just a brief reminder that Judge Debenham will be retiring on June 14th, Judge Parrish on June 24th, and we do have funding. We've received word for the 2 new magistrate judge positions. I don't have any word from the court as to when that funding will be made available. The nominating commission is meeting on Monday, actually next Monday. We're meeting by phone to set up a schedule for deadlines and interviews for hopefully our 2 positions, and they won't just address one at a time.
Okay.
That's it.
Great. Thank you very much.
Courtney House, Director of Public Works. A couple announcements. One, I just wanted to alert the public that beginning tomorrow and continuing through Wednesday, an organization or an entity, a design entity, will be taking traffic counts on Auburn Road between 21st Street and 37th Street. The reason for that is I had requested traffic engineering assistant program funds from KDOT to begin studying that corridor, that segment of the corridor, as part of future upgrades to Auburn Road. And KDOT logically said, well, let's go from K4 North to 21st Street. So I'm interested in the portion from 25th down to 37th, and logically they're interested from 25th up to 21st. So that work will be ongoing over the next 2 days beginning tomorrow. And then I just wanted to remind the public that Shawnee County recommends that the public avoid contact with Lake Sherwood until further notice. As you know, we had a blockage there late last week. The system filled and we had a spill into the lake, and until the lake clears as far as the water quality, we would like people to avoid the lake. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. Anyone else?
Good morning, Commissioners. Larry Moss, Shawnee County Treasurer. It is spring. Last Friday, we started mailing out the second half tax statements. If you're so anxious that you can't wait for your mail this week, you can find that information out on the website. Taxes will be due on May the 10th. We will accept payment by mail, online, drop-off, or in person, and we will accept cash, checks, or credit cards. Be glad to answer any questions you have.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Larry, here about a month ago, a little over, our County Appraiser, Mr. Bauman, addressed the County Commission about how his office was sending out appraisal notices, and that appraisal notices were going up, assessed values anywhere from 10 to 20% increases. And we, and I'm sure your office as well, fielded a lot of phone calls about those changes. When would a person see that change of the assessed values on their tax statement? When would their taxes go up?
That will be next year's taxes. They will not see that until December, and of course, that will depend on the budget and the mill levy that you all set in September, October.
The other question that came up was, what are all the taxing entities and what constitutes a mill levy? When you send out a tax statement, does it have that information on it?
Yes, all that information is there by entity. Plus, we are working with the vendor to put that information online so that you can see it on an ongoing basis for multiple years.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. Those are bits of information that we get asked a lot recently.
All righty, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Good morning, Commissioners. Stephanie Kuhlman, Shawnee County Commission Office. The April County Connection newsletter has been posted to the website. It's very easy to find. You'll start off at the Shawnee County homepage, www.snco.us. Up at the top, you'll find the department's drop-down menu, Select Commission. From the Commission homepage, click on the link Newsletter. This month's featured department is the Human Resources Office. Director Angela Lewis introduces her staff and their importance to all the Shawnee County departments. Also in the newsletter video, she explains the new referral bonus for new employees. We are offering $1,500 to the referring county employee and $1,500 for the new hire. The applicant would just identify the county employee who referred them on their application. The referral bonus is not available to every position, though, only certain full-time permanent positions that are identified on the website. But as you can see, there are several positions that are eligible. The Shawnee County Sheriff's Office were honored to participate in the 2022 Special Olympics, Kansas State Basketball, and Cheerleading opening ceremonies. The deputies enjoyed handing out medals to all the awesome athletes. The Shawnee County Health Department hosted the Safe Kids Car Seat Checkup event on March 12th. This was their first time that they hosted the event. Participants learned how to properly install their car seat or booster seat for their child, and then were provided education on when to transition from their current car seat to the next step. This is a monthly event held at several different locations on the second Saturday of the month. The Health Department will host the event in both June and September. The next event will be held at Cent Highcrest Market from 9 a.m. to noon on April 9th. The Shawnee County Milestones are employees that are celebrating work anniversaries in 5-year increments. I'd like to say congratulations to Sergeant Michael Wright and Deputy Tracy Trammell with the Sheriff's Office for 25 years, and Janet Morrissey at Public Works has been with Shawnee County for 30 years. So thank you to everyone for your service to Shawnee County. Some upcoming events in April. April 5th, a lunch and learn at the Health Department at 11:30. You can get free Jason's Deli for lunch for anyone who attends. On April 18th, there is no commission meeting. The commissioners will be at the election office canvassing the results of the Auburn-Washburn 2022 bond election mail ballots. And the April 28th meeting is also canceled because all commissioners are going to Northwest Arkansas for an inner-city tour. You can check out more stories and videos in the April newsletter. That is all I have.
All right. Thank you,
One last
Stephanie.
time, rock chalk.
Painful.
I think we should all say that today. This is a good day to say that. Even Commissioner Rippon dressed in blue and red today. One of the biggest K-State fans I know. So there's only a couple people in the room that haven't spoken yet. Anyone else? All right, Commissioner Rippon?
Revenge is best served cold. Oh, I have nothing to read.
Commissioner Cook?
Last Thursday, there was a ribbon cutting at the Beacon. It's an event space here in Topeka, and really nice work on the building and renovation. It turned out really well, and also noting that it's a project that was done by Sunny, who is also managing the project for the 707 Quincy renovation, as well as Shawnee County Courthouse. So just excited to see the work that they might be able to do.
I didn't get a chance to attend the ribbon cutting there, but I did get a chance a few weeks ago to go through the building. It's beautiful. They've done a great job. And a building that, personally, I didn't know it had that under, it had suspended ceilings and drywall and everything in there before. And so it was really neat to see what they've done with the place, considering what it looked like before they got it. So I don't have anything else. Next item, please.
Item 7, executive session.
We do not have a need for executive session today, so we are adjourned.